There was an epic cheating scandal in Atlanta years ago involving dozens of teachers who were changing test scores on standardized tests in order for their students to appear that they were actually absorbing the course material more than they really were. Now, about 21 teachers in this case, which actually went to trial, pleaded guilty to the cheating, and they received lesser charges and they moved on with their lives. However, there are 12 teachers in Atlanta that are still standing trial for this case. They have not agreed to a plea agreement, and so as a result, during the closing arguments, it was discovered that some of these teachers could actually face 20 years behind bars for racketeering. Okay, so racketeering is the type of charge that's usually utilized for mobsters, people who are doing drug trafficking, money laundering, those types of things. But in this case, it is alleged by prosecutors that the teachers were changing the test scores because they wanted higher test scores to receive bonuses. Now, it is not confirmed that they all got bonuses as a result of the higher test scores. However, there was a possibility that they could have gotten some bonuses. So as a result, they're latching on to this notion that it was racketeering.
Yeah. No. Listen. It appears that there was cheating, right? And on a fairly wide scale. Should people be punished for that? Absolutely. Okay. Now, look, it frustrates me because you shouldn't do all this stuff on standardized testing anyway. We've gone too far in trying to tie everything to standardized testing. It gives all the wrong incentives, and then people wind up doing things like this. But it doesn't matter. They should be fired. There's no question they should be fired. But what are we doing putting them in prison? We put everybody in prison now. You looked at me kind of funny. You didn't cooperate as I was slamming your head into the ground. Obstruction of justice, you're going to prison. You were a teacher and you cheated during... We put people in prison for cheating? I mean, it's bad. Like if they're a student, give them a bad grade. If they're a teacher, fine. Prison? 20 years?
20 years behind bars.
This is crazy, man.
The 12 defendants are all African American.
Of course they are. Look, I got to say, again, in the production meeting this morning, before we got to that part, I turned to Anna and I said, wait a minute, are they black? Right? And it turns out, of course! Now, look, did they get targeted because they're black? No. Okay?
What they did was wrong. And as Cenk said again and again, they should have been fired. Those are the ramifications that they should have suffered. But no, we've decided we're going to charge them with racketeering so we could put them away for 20 years.
No, so I don't think they got targeted because they're black. It's just that if it was, and this is the things that linger in the back of our heads that are the unconscious stereotypes that cause consequences like this. If it was in an affluent neighborhood, you're going to go arrest all the white teachers in that neighborhood. It's not going to, and you're going to put them in prison. Would you fire them? Yeah, I believe, of course you'd fire them, right? I'm giving all the benefit of the doubt. But you're going to go arrest them. You're going to put those white teachers in Beverly Hills in prison. No, you're not. No, you're not. It's not even going to occur to you. But it's Atlanta, and you've got all these black teachers. You're like, what do you think? What do they do? Right away, put them in prison. They're black. They put them in prison. Put them in prison. Now, by the way, the 12 that are holding out, they're holding out because they say, yeah, it seems like it happened, but we didn't do it.
Yeah.
The people, we could have taken a plea deal. It's easy to take a plea deal, and then we're done with it. The reason we're not taking the plea deal is because we didn't do it. It was other people. It wasn't us, right? Now, I don't know if that's true, right? And you'll have to see, right? I'm not assuming they're all innocent just because they said so. First of all, we shouldn't even have a trial. What are you doing? Oh, God.
The trial is ridiculous. But just keep in mind that the system sets people up to fail to begin with, right? We're talking about public schools that are underfunded, overcrowded, and then the way that you examine or evaluate a teacher is based on how well a student from a lower socioeconomic status does on a standardized test. All the students that were taking these tests and had their test scores changed were living in poverty. Okay? And so you've already set up this system that's unfair to the teachers. And there's a tremendous amount of pressure to make sure that the students perform well on the test. Am I saying that I'd give the teachers a pass? Hell no, I would not give them a pass. What they did here was absolutely wrong. But you have to come up with a better way of evaluating teachers, especially when you're creating a system that makes it extremely difficult for them to teach in the first place.